this is Jennifer Hasser. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm going to talk to you about why repetition is so important in learning to read. There are actually a lot of different reasons, but first, if you think back to when you were in school, you learned a lot of information. You probably remember very little of what you learned. But with reading and spelling, you're going to use that for the rest of your life. So just because you had an A on a spelling test on a Friday and then went on to the next rule the next week, doesn't mean that you've internalized it. And the thing about reading and spelling is that it is something you're going to use forever. And when we see kids making the same types of mistakes year after year, it's because they're typically taught one rule one week, and then the next week they're on to the next rule. So what I recommend and what we do here is that we make sure that we cycle back and are constantly looping back to make sure that we get these rules constantly reinforced until they become habit, because that's what you want. So it's the same thing with if you wanted a kid to play a sport. They're going to have to learn the rules, but during the game you don't want them running to the side to look at the manual to see how to play. It needs to become a habit, so it's second nature. So they know if I'm playing basketball, I'm not allowed to travel. They don't have to run over and ask the coach. Okay? So that's why in sports you practice things over and over and over again until they become overlearned and you become really good at them. And a lot of times in school, we treat things more as rule of the week or a concept to be taught and then forgotten, and a concept to be taught. And a lot of times that's okay, because we're teaching them a lot of things that they're never going to remember all of it, and they're going to learn later, or they may not really need, but at least they've been exposed to it. But I don't think that reading is one of those things. You're going to need to read for the rest of your life. You're going to be exposed to new words for the rest of your life. You'll change careers multiple times. You'll need to be able to decode, you'll need to be able to remember these things, and you'll need to be able to spell. And spelling is something that people think spell check's going to help you out, and spell check can only help you out if you get pretty darn close, because if any of you use spell check on your iPhone, I know you've probably sent out some ridiculous text messages. So when you're thinking about this with your kids and you hear that things are being repeated, it's particularly spelling rules or asking kids for a repetition of reading concepts and vocabulary and roots and suffixes and all of that, it is very important that they learn them until they become a habit. So have patience with the teachers if they're doing that. And if you're a teacher, please do not forget to repeat, 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 repeat until the kids really know it. Thank you very much.